Hello and welcome back to Friday Minis. RAM, you know what it is, you know what it does. It's that thing on your computer that, is a temporary storage area and is very quick to access. We all know how RAM is actually used, but as it turns out, there are other ways to use RAM. And what we're going to talk about today is what is called RAM disk. Now, most of the time when you're accessing your secondary storage, say a hard disk, it tends to be kinda slow. And of course, that's understandable. A hard disk, has mechanical parts, it needs to rotate, it needs to take time to actually find and read off the data. That's why we have SSDs which are faster, but still, those are not as fast as RAM. What you achieve when you actually create a RAM disk is you are saying, I want to use one part of RAM as storage. Whatever you store in RAM disk can be read from and written to very quickly. In fact, because it is RAM, it works at RAM speeds. What this means is if you're doing something that has a lot of, disk reads and writes, you can actually benefit from a RAM disk because, well, it speeds up that part. Of course, there are several problems, and the first and most glaring one is the fact that, well, RAM is volatile. What this means is when you actually switch off the power, as long as RAM does not receive power, all the information held on it is going to be gone. That's why while RAM disk is good for, temporary use, it's not going to be a viable long-term storage solution. That is why RAM disk can only be, a complement to actual storage. In fact, most of the time what people do when they use RAM disk is they copy out some information from, a hard disk to the RAM disk and then work with that, and they have to periodically back up the data to the hard disk, in case of emergencies like a power failure or a crash. All this overhead is generally acceptable because, well, RAM is just so much faster to read from and write to. So yeah, that's a RAM disk. If you're actually doing, a lot of heavy, intensive reads and writes from disk, that might be something you want to consider. Anyway, that's all there is for this episode of Friday Minis. Thank you very much for watching, and until next time, you're watching 0612 TV. Thank you very much for watching. If you like my work and are feeling generous, you can shoot me a one-time donation on PayPal or sign up for a recurring one on Patreon. Of course, you can simply like, comment, and subscribe. You know the deal. For more videos, links to my channel and a related playlist are on screen. Thank you for your support.